what happened? What was the point where the two of you said, okay, now wait a minute. This has gone beyond just a game. Something's serious here. Somebody could really be a threat. Something could be wrong here.
A complete stranger has been obsessively stalking our family for 7 years. In 2012, I received messages from women stating someone was using my husband's identity, using all of his photos. They were catfishing women on a social media site.
She was looking for love, period. And he gave her that.
The persona that the catfish created was Alan, who was 6'7", around the same age, very, very wealthy. Looking for single women within 100 miles, ages 27 to 50, for short and long-term dating and new friends.
I didn't think there was anything we could do about it, so we just kind of let it go.
But someone had taken a picture from the driver's seat of a car outside of our home. That's when I realized what we thought was just a catfisher was actually someone that was stalking our family.
He seems to know a lot about you guys.
The catfish knew intimate details about our family, trips that we had gone on, the surgery that I had earlier this year, that my brother-in-law had been battling cancer. He was pretending to be Alan, pretending that our life was his life. It completely freaked me out.
We spent a crazy amount of time trying to track all the leads, really looking into who's close to me that would know this information, who would have pictures from the inside of our home, who was in our home.
I became paranoid. One of our fears was what this person would do once they found out we were onto them.
So who was this guy? Who had stolen Alan's identity? Well, Amanda and Alan were determined to catch the catfish because they were really worried. We're talking about pictures of the inside of their house. So they hired a private investigator. And that's when this story took a bizarre turn, as though it hadn't already. Take a look.
We wanted to hire a private investigator to track this person down. The investigator thought it must be someone we know based on the information that was being sent, but we were all shocked to find out who it was.
The person behind this was actually not a creepy man at all. It was a 24-year-old female who had started this when she was in high school. Sarah was catfishing women on Facebook. We learned that she had actually been using Alan's photos since 2011. She had been arrested in 2012 for impersonating a public officer.
Sarah was not trying to get money or anything from these women, but Sarah would offer these women, one of them a new wedding dress and one a new car.
She would make arrangements to meet these women, and then when the time came, there was always a family emergency. One of the ladies that I spoke to said that he had invited her to a concert. Then we learned just this year that Sarah went to a concert that we were also at. And she was probably around 30 feet from where we were sitting.
I didn't know Sarah, but at some point on Facebook I had become friends with her. At that point I discovered we had 99 mutual friends together. So I called my brother and asked how he knew her. He didn't know her, but he had told me that a couple weeks prior she had been over at their house looking at a vehicle that they were selling. I thought it was really creepy.
One of my girlfriends had received 2 messages from her, and she was looking for a job. It seems like Sarah wants to infiltrate our family.
Well, it's good to meet the two of you, the real two of you.
Yeah.
Now, at first you didn't really freak out over this when you first found out somebody had hijacked your pictures, right?
Not at first. Those messages that were sent in 2012, I actually didn't read those for probably a year and a half.
Right.
They were in a spam folder on Facebook.
Okay.
So when I read them, I didn't think too much of it because they weren't using his name. There were just some pictures that had been stolen, and we hadn't heard anything about the police investigation.
Right. And what happened? What was the point where the two of you said, okay, now wait a minute. This has gone beyond just a game. Something's serious here. Somebody could really be a threat. Something could be wrong here.
In September, I had 2 women reach out to me, again on Facebook. The second lady was a friend of the lady that had been in the relationship for 7 months. And she said he has sent her pictures that are nowhere to be found online. And when she sent those to me, that's when I knew this was way scarier than we had imagined.